There's an account in the U.S. tax code that does something no other account does. It's not a 401k. It's not an IRA. It's not a Roth. It's the HSA. And almost everyone who has access to one is using it wrong. Here's what makes it different. Every other tax-advantaged account gives you a tax break in one direction. A traditional 401k is pre-tax going in, but you pay ordinary income on the way out. A Roth is after tax going in, tax-free on the way out. The HSA does both, pre-tax going in, tax-free growth, tax-free out for qualified expenses. The IRS calls this triple tax advantaged. There is no second account in the code that does this. The reason most people miss it is that the marketing is pure medical bills. Open it through your employer. Swipe the debit card at the pharmacy. Repeat. The HSA you open through HR is a checking account. The HSA the IRS designed is something different. Here are the rules that change everything. HSA contributions for 2026 cap at $4,400 for self-only coverage and $8,750 for family. There's a $1,000 catch-up if you're 55 or older. To contribute, you have to be enrolled in a high-deductible health plan, which the IRS defines for 2025 as a deductible of at least $1,650 individual or $3,300 family. That eligibility gate is the only real catch. Once funds are in the HSA, they stay there. You don't lose them if you switch jobs, switch plans, or stop contributing. The account is yours like a 401k rollover. It sits and it invests. Here's where the marketing stops talking. Fidelity, Health Equity, and Lively all let you invest HSA balances in the same mutual funds and ETFs you'd hold in a 401k. The cash in the account isn't required to stay as cash. The Devenir 2024 market report puts total HSA assets in the U.S. at over $137 billion. But less than a quarter of those accounts are actually invested. Most of that money is sitting in cash, earning the equivalent of a checking account. So a 35-year-old who maxes the family limit every year and invests it at the historical S&P 500 real return of about 7% compounds over 30 years to roughly $880,000, completely tax-free if used for qualified medical expenses. That's bigger than what the average American has saved for retirement by age 65, according to the Federal Reserve's 2022 Survey of Consumer Finances. But the math leads to the second move, the one almost nobody knows about. The IRS does not put a time limit on when you reimburse yourself for a qualified medical expense. Pay the bill out of pocket today. Save the receipt. 20 years from now, pull tax-free money out of your HSA against that receipt. The account grew untouched the whole time. There's no special form, no election. You just keep the documentation and produce it if audited. The exact language is in IRS Publication 969. There is no time limit between when the medical expense is incurred and when reimbursement is taken from the HSA, as long as the expense was incurred after the HSA was established. So you're not actually choosing between paying medical bills today and saving for retirement. You're delaying the reimbursement by decades and letting the account grow tax-free in the meantime. That alone makes the HSA functionally equivalent to a Roth IRA, except with no income limits, no phase-out, and a higher contribution ceiling for families. Now the third move. After age 65, the rules invert. Withdrawals for any reason, medical or not, stop being penalized. They're taxed as ordinary income exactly like a traditional 401k. Qualified medical withdrawals stay tax-free. So if you reach 65 with a fully funded HSA and you've already reimbursed every receipt you saved, the account quietly converts into a traditional IRA equivalent. The money is never stranded. Compare these cleanly. A Roth IRA, $7,000 contribution limit in 2025, after tax in, tax-free out. A 401k, $23,500 employee limit, pre-tax in, ordinary income out, An HSA used as a retirement account, $8,750 family limit, pre-tax in, tax-free out. For qualified medical, ordinary income out for anything else after 65. One practical note: if your current health plan isn't an HDHP, you can't make new contributions this year, but you can still invest whatever balance you've already accumulated. The eligibility gate only blocks new money. Existing balances grow either way, so even a single calendar year on an HDHP with a maxed contribution plants the seed. The trade-off is real. You need an HDHP. You'll pay more out of pocket for routine care in any year you actually use the medical system. That's a genuine cost. But for someone young, healthy enough to absorb the deductible, and earning enough to max the contribution, the math points to one place. If your employer offers an HSA-eligible plan, the question isn't whether to open the account. It's whether you're treating it as a debit card or as the most tax-efficient retirement account ever written into the U.S. tax code. Save the receipts, invest the balance, let it run.